What's up, guys? Welcome to Malty Monday. Really cool pairing this week. Kind of an unusual one. This is one of the more wild ones we've done, at least in my opinion. Boschetto al Tartufo. Boschetto is an Italian sheet smoked cheese, and they actually shave like fresh truffles into it. It's really cool, but what I love about it is it's not overpowering. Some truffle flavored things and a couple truffle cheeses, they can be kind of intense, right? It's like when you taste them, all you get is the truffle, and this one's really balanced. You still get like the cool gaminess, grassiness of the sheet smoke, and it was really cool pairing something with truffles with beer. It's the first time we've ever kind of played around with truffles, and it actually worked really well. I'll kind of let Rio talk about the beer, and we'll kind of keep chatting about that.
Right, so the beer that goes with this cool truffle cheese is another Saison. I am a sucker for Saisons during the summertime. It's such a great style to go in the summertime. This is the Quatre Saison from Red Rock Brewing. So Saison is like, as we've talked about before, is like a Belgian style ale. It comes from kind of a farmhouse tradition. Usually they were fermenting without temperature regulation during the summertime, so it would get quite hot. And this is a very heat-tolerant yeast, and when it ferments up in the upper range of where ale yeast can ferment, so we're talking like up in the 80s, even up to 90 degrees, you get these wonderfully expressive notes coming out of the fermentation. So esters, phenols, esters being like fruity flavors, phenols being spicy flavors, usually like a really nice note of like kind of some peppery spices, a little bit of baking spice, and then some light fruit, you know, like a little bit of stone fruit, a little bit of almost lemon kind of coming off of it. And then the thing that makes these so great for the summertime is they're very attenuative. So that means that like whatever sugar is available in the beer before the yeast gets to it, this yeast will eat more of it than most other yeasts. And what that does is dry it out. It dries out the palate. It makes them very, very refreshing. And that kind of like
super refreshing.
Super refreshing. You can crush this beer. This is about a 6.0%, 6.2% beer, somewhere right in there. And it's just incredibly refreshing for a beer that strong. It's also nicely high in carbonation. You can kind of see it's nice and carbonated in here, nice good head, and that makes it a little refreshing as well. The carbonation kind of comes out and cleanses the palate. It's fantastic with food.
Traditionally, will Saisons be around that same alcohol like level, or does it vary?
What's cool about Saisons is the style is a little nebulous. There is a lot of flexing room in the style. Hey guys, sorry, technical difficulties. We're back. Shaymus, you were asking about the strength of Saisons. Really, the style is kind of interestingly nebulous because it comes from this farmhouse tradition of a lot of decentralized small little breweries in little farmhouses. There's a lot of variation to it. You do get most of them coming in right at that like kind of 6 to 7% range. If you make a lower one, it actually, some people break it out as a separate style called a grisette. So that's like a 4%, maybe even 4.5 to 5% low alcohol Saison, but a lot of people just call them Saisons still. You can have really strong ones up to 8 or 9%, but generally most of them are kind of this color, kind of a light malt body, low hop. Really the yeast is doing all the work. In fact, this beer is not really that interesting without the yeast. There's sometimes other grains like wheat or oats or rye in them, but often they're a lightly hopped golden ale that the yeast is doing the bulk of the work. And like in a lot of Belgian brewing, you know, like really making the beer something unique is the yeast.
Beer kicked ass.
It's really good.
Yeah, awesome.
I love Saison.
It's really cool with the cheese too, because I thought the truffle would kind of be funky with it, but it kind of like highlighted the sweetness of the beer. It almost made it like caramely, but then creaminess of the cheese and how dry it finishes, it kind of just worked throughout the whole thing. But
right, and the cheese is that earthiness from the truffle, like you say. Like sometimes some folks may not even like truffles. I have a buddy who hates them, and they can be overpowering. But the beer stands up. The beer is light and refreshing, but still kind of cuts through on the palate. Yeah. Really, really nice that way.
It was cool. It was definitely interesting. Cool though. I mean, truffles and beer. Who'd have thought? Works out, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool. Cider class.
Right, we got a cider class coming up in what, like 2 weeks-ish?
2 weeks, yeah.
So towards the end of the month.
And local beer.
And local beer the week after that, the first week of August. So if you haven't signed up for those, sign up for them. They're going to be a blast. I think we get to do like an extra beer in the local beer class.
So get an Uber.
Yeah, get an Uber. They're a ton of fun. Come out and enjoy these with us. They're a lot of fun.
Hell yeah, cool. Thanks, guys.